been yearning for, that's what we continue to yearn for. First of all, when I become president, not if, when. When I'm president, the transition, first of all, will be reconciliatory. We live in a deeply divided country, divided along class, along religion, along ethnicity, and we want the transition to be inclusive. We know that even within this regime, we have very resourceful people. Unfortunately, they are powerless. The ministers themselves silently complain because they are only appointed to represent a certain region, not to do the work. But also, I must mention that most of our talented, educated, and knowledgeable people have had to leave the country because of hostile economic and political conditions, and also because they don't have opportunity. I dream of a day when we're going to have a mass repatriation back to the country, where we have all these doctors, all these engineers coming back to the motherland to help rebuild the country. That transition, first of all, is going to disempower the president so much. I will be the first president that is not all powerful, because we want to return power in the institutions. What General Museveni did is to disempower the institutions. We want to empower the institutions so that they work beyond human weakness and human greed. We want to have an inclusive, leadership, and of course, an all-reaching leadership. So our transition, we hope to make it friendly, smooth, and reconciliatory.
We would one like to thank His Excellency again for making this appearance here at Howard University. And today I have acted only as a conduit, because this is an extension of what happened last week at the State of the Black World Conference 5, convened by the Institute of the Black World and Dr. Daniels. And this young lady to my right is actually responsible for His Excellency being in this country, as well as Brother Haki. And I mentioned him at the beginning of this in my remarks, in my thank yous. But I wanted to introduce the Miss Kim Poole, who is a soul fusion performing artist and founding fellow of the Teaching Artists Institute, which provides opportunities for artists to learn techniques for social transformation while fostering outlets for socially engaged art. The Teaching Artists Institute operates in the US, Ghana, Liberia, Jamaica, Uganda, Tanzania, and the Gambia. And through the Teaching Artists Institute, Kim Poole and an international team of teaching artists are originating the Art for Social Transformation, Teaching Artistry in Action curriculum, a workbook for change agents and universities interested in exploring the art of possibility. I could go on and on again about her accolades and the work that she's doing, but the sister and again Brother Aki are very powerful, and I encourage all of you to connect with them. And again, it's their doing that has His Excellency here to speak and connect with you all at Howard University. So please, without further ado, please give a round of applause to Ms. Kim Poole.
I've been walking with my face held to the sun, weight on my shoulder, a bullet in my gun, and I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can, where I can, where I am for my people, till the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night. That's why I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going through a brand new home. Far across the river, you see freedom flowing, calling me to take my people home. I can feel it in my bones. So I don't start with music because I want you to clap. I start with music because it's essential that I bring my culture into the room, that we begin with the vibration that is life. We are the rhythm people. And every institution that we've created has to be deconstructed so that we can build on fertile ground. We have to abolish every institution, every educational, every policy, every leader that believes that we can build healthy in a healthy way and not create the same system all over again if we don't change our mindset, if we don't change our culture. We have to decolonize our education, especially at places right here like Howard University. It's essential that we know the U.S. is not coming to save us. This is a sinking ship. And my tribe here, we know it firsthand because we have been in a sinking ship since they dropped us off on these shores at the bottom of those ships in chains. We have to support Uganda, but ultimately we have to support a borderless Africa. He is the beginning. We can no longer acknowledge the geographical boundaries that were given to us by colonial powers. We have to remember that when we were enslaved mentally and physically here, they were colonized on the continent. And everything that you see is an outgrowth of that colonization and that mindset. And it's essential that here in the diaspora, we build a liberated zone, first and foremost in our minds, so that we can build behind enemy lines and take resources from this system that we gave with our blood, sweat, and tears. Make no mistake about it, every institution in the United States, my people were the first stock on Wall Street. So they're not giving me anything. I'm taking back what I gave, 400 years of free labor. And it's essential that we understand our role. Since you got to pass out of Uganda, you need to know what to do with it. Don't come over here and rebuild the same institution. Don't go back to Uganda and regurgitate what you're reading in these European context structures. I think honestly, what matters most from this conversation is that you ask yourself, what am I going to do about it, right? What institution am I going to build? In my organization, the Teaching Artists Institute, that's the organization that we built. That's the institution that we're building. I'm an artist. And I've always supported Bobi Wine because he started as an artist. You are the civic engagers, but art is not exclusive for just me and Bobi Wine. There is an artist in each one of you. Use your creativity. Tap into that. Don't let them make you believe that creativity and innovation is somehow for what the people at the open mic do. No, I need you to be creative. I need you to tap into your divinity. God spoke and said, let there be life, and created an entire world. You believe that if you're a Christian, but here we are, one way or the other. Having that been said, I want you to understand your power as students. Take your place at the front of this movement. Speak on how you feel. With that microphone, you can shift our reality. You can literally use vibration. The words, the spoken word can change our atmosphere and define reality. I want to empower you in that way today. And if you're interested in going into the lion's den and building institutions on the continent, please ask us, because we're not going to save Africa in the United States. Eventually, you're going to have to get on a plane, you're going to have to get on a boat, you're going to have to walk through Kuta in Morocco, however you get there, you're going to have to go. And so if you're interested in being on the ground, listen, because you're in the U.S. and they have policy interests, you are protected. You can go and say things that the locals can't say. You can say, shut up, Museveni. Maybe you can't say that, right? Museveni is crazy. Listen, we still work in Uganda. We understand that. We have to watch how we say it. But we can absolutely say and do things that those that live there, when we get back on the plane, that they can't say, because they still have to go to work. They still have to go to school. We need you to be that mouthpiece and use that microphone to shift reality. So again, I'm Kim Poole with the Teaching Artists Institute. You've already been here, and you've asked a lot of great questions. I don't want to take the rest of your time. I know Daquan is going to make sure that he closes us out on the right note. But last but not least, we have continental Africans, those of you that were born on the continent, that still have that passport, that can go back or not as you see fit. And you have those of us that have always over-romanticized what Africa would be if only we had just gotten home. When they dropped us off on these shores, the only thing we wanted to do was get back home, not knowing that the same trauma we had here was happening on the continent. And so now we have Pan-Africanism. We birthed that. So the tribalism that they deal with, the I'm this tribe and, I'm with Museveni's party, so we're in power. And, the truth is this. the Buganda Kingdom, we need to go back with the Pan-African spirit, and we have that in the diaspora. But we need you, continental Africans that came here on your passport, that are getting visas, to connect with us in the diaspora too. Because when we do reclaim the Ugandas and the Nigerias and the Cameroons with BIA, it's your job now to get rid of those geographical borders, so that the historic diaspora can also be included, and I'm from that tribe. So thank you again for inviting us to this table, because it means that he's headed in the right direction, and we need to support him on his journey.
How do you spell your name?
Kim Poole. Yes, and like us on Facebook. I'm so bad at social media. Please, facebook.com/teachingartist, one word. Please follow us. And again, if you want to get on that plane and go be that mouthpiece on the ground, we can help facilitate that for you.